So, it's been a mad few weeks, hasn't it? So, I'm back with a new video. This one is called How I Stay Sane in an Insane World. I basically just compiled a list of things that I do when things are getting a bit insane. I mean, now the world is getting a bit crazy. Obviously, we got a bit of a pandemic going on. Not the best scenario, but again, I still think it's very important just to stay relaxed, stay fearless. Don't let the problem control your way of thinking or your way of doing things, apart from, maybe going outside. But yeah, so how I stay sane in an insane world. Here we go. So the first thing that I do, I recommend is time out. So time out in any form, like meditation, just going for a walk, or something that just involves being alone with your thoughts. And if you ever want to process any type of emotion, or be able to really just be in your own head and relax, I find that very important. I find today there's a big problem with social media, instant gratification. So that means we never really have time alone with our thoughts. We can be anywhere, waiting in a queue for something, anything. That means we always have something occupying our minds. So I believe just a bit of time out, 10 minutes a day. So I think only 10 minutes or so is enough really to get yourself in a positive headspace. I think it's very important given the society we live in at the moment. Second thing would be to focus on projects. So being able to express your creativity, even if that's by making a vlog, a blog, drawing, writing a novel, or writing anything for that matter, making videos, making music, anything that involves a project where you create something, you're adding to the world, and you're given the freedom to produce something. I feel like as humans we need to give out as much as we consume. So when you're making your own projects, you're giving things out. I like to obviously do these videos. I've got my channels that I do on YouTube. I've got my music. Sometimes I like to draw. I like to write things. I like my journal as well. Little projects like that helps me to be grounded and just enjoy working on little passion projects. I do think it's very important for everyone to do. I find that a lot of people do just work their normal job. They'll just go home and then they'll either go to sleep or they'll binge Netflix, but they won't really do anything else other than work. So I think introducing maybe something small, even if it's like a little diary where you draw things like that, I think it's very beneficial for one's own health, mental health. So the third thing would be having things to look forward to in the short term. Obviously you have the long term, but the short term is something is a lot more comprehensible in the mind. Say if you have a party a few weeks from now, or someone's coming over, or you're going on holiday, things like that, they really helps people to motivate through the week or through whatever they're doing, because the week can be a grind, things can be a grind, especially now given the current climate where we have to be a bit patient. Patience is the key word, because at the moment we don't know what's going on. We don't know how we're going to get out of all this. We know eventually it's going to end. We don't know how, but we know it will at some point. So having things to look forward to in the short term are very beneficial. So for example, in this current thing going on, there's not much to do on the outside, but maybe plan things at home to do that you have to look forward to. Even if it means coming home from work and having maybe a movie that you want to watch, or something like that you've been anticipating, or even making yourself a nice drink or something that you really enjoy, just something just for you, even if it means you pamper yourself a bit. That's something that I feel like a lot of people would benefit from. Another thing very similar to the second one is short-term goals. So short-term goals also help to push motivation. So even if you have workout goals, fitness goals, if you want to be a certain weight, you want to have a certain muscle size or anything like that, this motivation will allow you to continue and give you that dopamine hit that you need from achieving something good. So even from the gym, when you come back and you feel that pump, when you feel good, you've achieved that goal of going there, that's a feel-good factor, which I definitely get, and I know a lot of other people get. But the short-term goals can be absolutely anything. Some of my goals are, I'm trying to read one book every month at the moment, so that's my way of feeling like I've achieved some small level of success. And again, it compounds and I add different things to it. Like I'm doing a meditation challenge at the moment, and that's something I feel like I'm achieving, and it's short-term goals that I'm achieving that are making me feel better and better about myself. The fifth one is gratitude. So gratitude is an interesting one because it can range from very small things to very large things, even things that you would usually take for granted. For example, like the roof over your head, you know, the fact that you have somewhere to live, it's warm, you have food. You know, it's a bit ironic given the scenario at the moment, you know, with food and people getting a bit too much, us being locked in our houses to an extent. Gratitude is very important because despite bad things happening, we do all have things to be grateful for. And focusing on those things and not things that we wanting things we have, like in the Stoic philosophy, I do feel like that is a good way to go about it. There's so many things we can be grateful for, like the clothes on our backs, the jobs that we have, the fact that we have money to support ourselves, money to do things and go to places we want to go. Again, usually it's the case, but right now, obviously, what's going on, we're a bit limited. Practicing gratitude is a great way to start appreciating life and have even a richer quality of life, because you know you can sort of achieve instant happiness from feeling gratitude and wanting the things that you already have, because again that sort of eliminates desire. And then like in the Buddhist philosophy, the way to eliminate suffering is to eliminate desire. If you don't want any more, you don't need any more, and you become bliss, content. So the final one, so it's applicable most of the time, maybe not as much now, but I feel like another one is not comparing yourself to other people. There's a very famous quote by Theodore Roosevelt, which is, comparison is the thief of joy. So if you do want to be happy, don't compare yourself to other people. As Jordan Peterson says, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. That means, you know, by setting yourself goals, seeing, you know, tracking your progress, seeing how you've improved. That's the real way you're gonna have a good quality of life and have a better way of living. Again, when you see someone, you don't know their struggles, you don't know what they're going through, you can't actually tell what they are. You don't even know what you're comparing to, because your perception is so limited. You only see a percentage of what they really are. You might see someone on the street that's got nice clothes, they might seem rich, they might be going to expensive restaurants, things like that. But you don't know, you know, they could have like mental health problems, they could be depressed, someone could have died, they could just hate themselves on the inside. You don't know, like you never really do. Like even you see all these celebrities, like they kill themselves a lot of the time because some of them, they just can't take the fame. They get themselves in such a way they've achieved everything that they want, and they're still unhappy because they have an underlying issue. Look at Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury had 3 years out of boxing because of mental health complications, but he'd literally become the best of the best heavyweight boxer in the world, which in my opinion he still is. But it goes to show that it doesn't matter how much you have or achieve, no one is perfect. There's always going to be something wrong. So obviously, but there's some things wrong, there's always things right. So the best way to go about that is to always just see someone for them and see yourself for you, and don't make comparisons. You can if you're playing a game or you're competing on any particular thing, but unless you're competing on something, don't compare with other people, because it's generally unproductive and it's not going to make you the best version of you, and it's not going to make you as happy as you can possibly be. So that was my opinion on my list on how I stay sane in an insane world. Hopefully that might help some of you out there right now in the current situation. But even if not that, after the situation's over, hopefully these things will help you to become better and help you to keep grounded in the very crazy world that we're living in. But so yeah, I've been Happy Lance. Catch you later.